Alright gamers, welcome back. World of Warcraft Classic Hardcore Ironman Adventures, episode 142. We are back. Let's jump in, shall we? Last time we were in the middle of doing some things in the Eastern Plaguelands. We had taken on that adventure. Still quite a few things to do out there. Rather meaty quests out in Eastern Plaguelands, especially for Tyrion. Tyrion wants us to kill quite a few of the beasts that plague the Eastern Plaguelands. But for now, we're gonna run outside of the Undercity and head back to the Bulwark because we need to go back to Mickey Levine. And then we will probably run further into the Western Plaguelands, talk to Marlene for... what was her name? Penelope? Was that it? The little girl? Either way, she's the ghost girl. We're looking for her family. Pepe hands. Pepe hands. I might want to try and take an attempt at Princess while I have my agility buff going. I forgot that we used that last time, but I needed bag space, so I just went ahead and used it. But 25 agility is like, it's quite a bit of agility. It's, if you think about it, it's a whole extra chest piece that I have. Like, that's a good bit of damage. 23 agility equates to, God, like 30 attack power for me, which actually really makes a difference. I hate when the straw tries to embarrass you like that. I'm gonna do some research on the side. How much health does Princess have? Okay, so Misrael has 11,408 health. But the biggest thing about her is she summons a lot of elemental mobs. She summons like a horde of mobs. So you need to kill her very quickly or you could get overwhelmed by those mobs. Mickey.
My family worked the North Ridge lumber mill in what's now Western Plaguelands. They were dedicated to the Duma family, and now the Scarlet Crusade have taken it over along with all of Hearthglen. I will not rest until those zealots are wiped from Azeroth.
A plague upon thee.
Goodbye.
Do you have the termites yet, Bale? I'm sure it is obvious to a smart rogue like yourself. Once we have enough of them, we'll make sure no one can use the lumber mill ever again.
These will do nicely, adventurer. Thank you. If you're ready, we can get on with the next step. Now that we have plenty of termites, take the steel-reinforced barrel to the North Ridge lumber mill south of Hearthglen. You'll find it to the west of the road that leads you up to the town. Once there, place the barrel in the center of the lumber mill, someplace high, like on a crate or something. After you open it, the rest should take care of itself. Just come back here and I'll reward you for helping me.
Sounds good. Find some place suitable in the center of the North Ridge lumber mill in Western Plaguelands to place the barrel-plagued termites. And then honestly, we were killing a ton of worms and bats and plague hounds. We'll head all the way up till Dawson's Tears and then take this path up here. We've been past this lumber mill. We talked to Kirsta a little further behind the actual lumber mill, so. Or Krista, was that her name? Krista? I can't remember. God, Coke Zero usually slaps, but right now, it tastes a little weird. I don't know if I'm getting sick or if it's because when I got off work earlier, I fell asleep, took a nap, woke up, it's now midnight. I was like, you know what? Let's do a little recording. Got nothing better to do now that I'm up. Infected deer. It's the freaking weekend, baby. Time to game. I go to Mexico in 2 weeks for just a handful of days with my girlfriend. And I'm very excited. Haven't been on a vacation in... I mean, I went on a small vacation earlier this year to the mountains. My girlfriend and I, we went to a just a little getaway log cabin up in the mountains. It was really nice, but it was only like 4 days, I think, way back in March, and it is now October, so this will kind of be the second little vacation of the year, but we're only going for another 4 days. That's all I could really get off. But overall, I'm still very excited. Nine-second web. Oof. The spider meat and the wolf meat is actually pretty valuable. Both of those make 12 stamina food. Dude, a one-hitter. When you're outside of Eastern Plaguelands, it just feels like thorium is bleh. I mean, that was a small one, so for sure it makes sense, but... Alright. We're in the lumber mill territory. Let's sneak in here. Just need a place that we can actually put this, It's gotta be in this crate, right? Sorry guys, my allergies are really bad right now. When I woke up, I've just been sneezing and sniffling and coughing, and I'm trying to clear my throat. Or I'm trying to mute every time I have to clear my throat or cough or sneeze or anything like that, but oh, a little bit of a nasty rend these boys do.
Health warning.
$174 crit, pretty solid. I don't have my poisons on, that definitely slows this down. I was wondering, I was like, why does this feel awful? I don't have my poisons on. Arcane bands. These are really good. If I was a mage or something, I'd be really stoked on those. Slap on some new poisons. Just because we don't know what we're going to be fighting, and I have a lot to kill here in just a little bit, so we might as well. And then the hot wolf ribs. The sturdy crate sits in the middle of the lumber mill, surrounded by debris and various zealot followers of the Scarlet Crusade. Place the termite barrel on the crate. Termites are obviously getting restless as you place the barrel on top of the crate. You look around the lumber mill for something suitable to open the barrel with. You find a crowbar that looks like it will do the trick. You set your feet and pray that you'll be able to get out of the mill before the termites get you. Get the hell out of here! I don't know if it'd be better to just head back to Mickey now, or if I should wait. I need to talk to Marlene anyways, so... Let's go talk to Marlene, and then we'll run back to Mickey, and then... we'll head into the Western Plaguelands and start hunting plaguehounds and runts and bats and worms and... so much to hunt. I think the worms are going to be the one that's just the worst. 15 worm meat is like, ugh. It's quite a bit of worm meat there, brother. Let's go around Anderhall. Just use the edges. Actually, you know what? Since I'm so close to the bulwark, Adney. Swing back by the bulwark. Empty out the bags real quick. We got about like a full gold piece worth of garbage that I need to get rid of. At some point, like I said, I need to go attempt Mizrael. I need to go take on Khan Hrothra. I need to go place that bait for the Vidir elixir. And I need to go talk to Duke Hydraxis and see what these quests are. Mickey?
What do you require?
My family worked the Northridge Lumber Mill in what's now Western Plaguelands. They were dedicated to the Duma family, and now the Scarlet Crusade have taken it over along with all of Hearthglen. I will not rest until those zealots are wiped from Azeroth. Have you done it, Bale? Have you released the termites in the lumber mill? It was bad enough that my family lost their jobs and lives, but then to see the place where my childhood was spent so taken over by those disgusting so-called holy men. Blah.
Thank you, adventurer. Here, take this coin. I'm sorry it's not more, but try to take some joy in helping destroy the Scarlet Crusade's efforts.
Thanks, Mickey. Alright. All the quests at the Bulwark are now done. Strength. We're almost up to 150 gold again after learning all our training. Man, once you hit max level, if you do just a handful of quests, you make so much money. You figure each quest gives you about 3 to 4 gold, but let's just for simplicity's sake call it 5 gold, right? What is that? You need 1,000 gold. 1,000 gold for epic mount. 5 gold a quest. You need 200 quests to get epic mount if it was 5 gold a quest. So probably about 250 quests at max level will get you your epic mount. If you can save 250 quests. If you don't want to like farm gold or buy gold or anything like that. We definitely don't have 250 quests left. I think we maybe have like at most 30 quests left. We probably have realistically 20, 25, somewhere in that range. I'm trying to hurry up and finish the last little bit of the quests that we have on this character, so I can go ahead and start the next project that I want to start. And then when we finish that, I'll probably come back to Hardcore WoW and try starting up the Druid, and we'll continue on with the next class, and But I think I've settled. I was jumping around throughout this entire series. We've talked about it. If you watch back through some of these episodes, I've talked about. I didn't know if I wanted to just jump right back into a new character on hardcore and go again. I didn't know if I wanted to take a break and try a different game, MMO wise, and then come back when we were refreshed. And that is what I settled on. I settled on, okay, well, I've just got this character to 60 in hardcore. We did basically every quest the Horde has to offer. It's pretty fresh in my mind. At this point, I think we'll just take a little break from WoW, and then when I come back, it'll be like it's, kind of fresh again, so. Just running right through this place. Marlene Redpath.
You saw Pamela? How is
Pamela,
she?
that was
Is
her
she
name.
alive? Oh no, poor Pamela. She was so young and such a happy child. She doesn't know what happened to her father, does she? My brother, Joseph? No, she couldn't understand what happened to Joseph, and even if she could, I don't have the heart to tell her.
Oh, this poor girl. Pamela's been through so much.
I wish Joseph could again be with his daughter, but it cannot be so. His soul was twisted by the scourge, and he became a monster. Oh, he is doomed. But perhaps we can change his fate. Search the graves outside for Joseph's monument. His body's not there, for it was trampled and destroyed years ago, and under the monument is his wedding ring. Take that ring to Chromie, a strange gnome with very strange powers.
We know
Chromie
Chromie.
is staying in the ruined inn at the northwest corner of Endor Hall.
2.5 gold to bring this ring to Chromie. Nope. Seems like this is his memorial, his monument. So these are skeletal creatures. Let's dagger dance on them. I'm 9 levels above them, so I'm not too worried about range aggro. He's undead. I don't think he's going to run away when he gets close to death, so I'm just going to stand my ground. I'll have kidney ready just in case, but now he would have run away by now, so let's get that ring. Whoops. Save me. Oh shit. Joseph! Joseph! Aglovan de l'Eslolu. Who said that? Is this a player? No. Unga Bunfa. Why does that sound like a player's name? But that might be... Maybe that's what Joseph has turned into? Alright, let's sneak back into Ander Hall. I'm sure there's like a book or somewhere in the lore that kind of explains exactly what happened to Ander Hall, but I mean, it's the plague came, right? But as far as in detail, Araj the Summoner. He's got elite skeletal warlords that surround him, and what looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mobs around him, with a bunch of patrols and other mobs around the area. No thank you. A Raj. A Lich. A very powerful Lich. Summon illusionary wraith. Araja's Phylactery. He's got this whole place set up, dude. This is the town center. Slowly tiptoe through Anderhall. Make our way back to the inn up here. The flesh golems are elites too. It's good to know. Doing a little bit of our tiptoeing in our Jordans right now. Hop over the table. Don't let this ghoul hear me. Psst. Psst. Grummy. Grummy, it's me.
Hello once again, adventurer. I sense that the flow of time remains threatened by forces that are quite powerful indeed. Your continued assistance is always welcomed by the Bronze Dragonflight.
Thanks, Chromie. Strange historian. There is something timely about your visit. You're not from the future, are you? No, but we have this ring. Could you help us?
What is this?
A little girl.
Wedding ring?
She's lost
Let
her
me see.
father.
This ring was once on the hand of a great man, but there is much tragedy in that man's past. Are you here to help him? It's far too late for him now, but perhaps we can help him in the past.
Yes.
To save Joseph Redpath, we must first discover his past. We can learn this in the Annals of Darrowshire, a book held in the City Hall of Andorra Hall. Bring me that book. We can then learn Joseph's fate, and with luck, change it.
Right. Bring the annals of Darrowshire to Chromie. Oh shit. Searing ghouls. I don't know why I jumped out of stealth there, but I thought I was okay. Clearly not. I think I know exactly where that is now by looking at that. And it's close to a Raj. I don't like that. But I think it's actually like in the town center. Got a tapered greatsword. Sells for like 2 gold. Damn thing looks sick for a gray though, huh? Okay, yeah. It's exactly where I thought it was. Tough luck being this guy, huh? Musty tome. You cannot save him, decrepit guardian. An old worthless tome. So you're looking for the right one, I see. Ooh, stamina and strength reduced by 20. And movement speed reduced and increased time between attacks. Musty tome trap. Damn. Brutal. Right, let's wait for at least this to fall off before we open up another one. Damn. 2 pretty nasty debuffs that get thrown on you right here. Let's get a new stamina buff going. I think this is the one though. It's a 1 minute long debuff though. And this can stack. That's horrible. It's just instant too. It's magic. Oh my god. They can put it on you multiple times back to back too. That's brutal. That's 600 health gone right there. Plus so much of my attack power. Look, I'm usually at like 500 and what? 11 is what we were at earlier. We're down 50 power, something like that. This is brutal. Why would they put that on a mob? Jesus. I think it's just a random chance thing, which one is the actual book, but in my mind, I'm choosing to believe maybe it's this one. Please. Nope. Oh, did we get 2 on that one? Ooh. Maybe I just do it this way. If it doesn't hurry up though, I'm gonna run out of books. And then this place is just gonna be full of mobs. So I'm gonna have to clear them out. Oh my god. Well, good news is the debilitating touch is almost wore off, so let's wait for this to wear off and then I'll start clearing these guys out. Hey there, you looking for a guild? We do weekly raids and endgame content if you want in. Sorry, brother, but I am solo self-found. No raiding, no dungeons, no group. Yeah, let's wait for my stealth to come. Sorry, I'm more of a casual player. Don't really have time to raid these days. But good luck on your groups. Alright, stealth is back. We can open up another book. There we go. And what's nice is it seems like these decrepit guardians actually despawn after a little bit of time if you just ignore them. This is another thing that like other classes outside of rogues can't do that. So in the future, if I do that quest, that's just going to be super annoying, right? There's so many things I've experienced throughout this playthrough on this character that are like that, where I'm just like, man, being a rogue is so nice. Yeah, this guy's nice. What's their guild? Ragnarok. Cheers, brother. I will. God bless. And if anything changes, I'll add you and hit you up. Let's add this guy. He's nice. And if, I mean, I've seen that guild before. I know they're one of the like late game guilds on this server. If we do decide that we want to start doing some like raiding or something, we'll hit this guy up and we can join the guild. But I don't really think that's my intentions, honestly. But I appreciate kindness and old school messaging of like getting in the DMs and being like, hey man, what's up? Looking for a guild? How you doing? That kind of thing. Crummy. Can we read this book, by the way, before I turn it into her? I can. Okay. I'm gonna get rid of these other books. They just take up space. And then we'll read this book real quick. How many pages? 6. The Annals of Darrowshire. Darrowshire, named from the Darrowmere Lake to its west, cool to know, is a village tucked into the southern foothills of Lordaeron, known for humble yet hard-working residents. Darrowshire stayed in the background of Lordaeron history until the Second War. Heroes were made during that war, and heroes were lost. The Battle of Darrowshire. The Battle of Darrowshire took place in the middle of the Second War, when Scourge forces rampaged across Lordaeron. Darrowshire was cut off from the bulk of Alliance forces, but the town was bolstered by a company of troops, a contingent of paladins of the Silver Hand, and a staunch group of local militia led by Captain Joseph Redpath. Oh, no. The Scourge's first assault on Darrowshire were sparse. Small groups of marauding skeletons and corpses wandered the outskirts of the village and were repelled, but the Scourge were not balked by the defenders' tenacity and responded in kind. Soon after the first wave of attacks, a second wave emerged. Champion ghouls, servants of the ghoul lord Horgus, screamed down from the hills and clashed with the belligered Darrowshire defenders. The defenders weakened, but were relieved by paladins, disciples of the Silver Hand, and their leader, Davil Crockford. He was a native of Darrowshire. He brought his followers to the village when he heard of the impending attack, and together with the defenders they held back the servants of Horgus. When Horgus himself entered the battle, he met with Davil. For many minutes they fought, and Davil eventually prevailed, but he suffered a mortal wound and died soon after defeating the Ghoul Lord. The battle continued, and Captain Redpath led his militia bravely, and it might have been won, had the captain not been corrupted by the Death Knight Marduk the Black. In the middle of the fray, Marduk rode up to Redpath, and with black magic he tore loose Redpath's spirit, twisting it into an evil shadow of the brave captain. The corrupt Captain Redpath then spread his evil taint among the defenders of Darrowshire, who betrayed their allies and slaughtered them. They then turned on the town of Darrowshire and killed all who hid in their homes. The remaining Scourge army, along with the corrupted spirit of Captain Redpath, then left the ravaged village of Darrowshire and tore into Lordaeron, adding to the pain and death of the Second War. Damn. That's what happened to her dad. Did you find the book, Bill?
Well done, you found it. Did you read it? Is Joseph Redpath mentioned? If he is, then perhaps we can save him.
He was.
The Annals of Darrowshire
He
tell a very
was.
unsettling tale. It says that during the battle, Joseph Redpath was corrupted and joined the ranks of the Scourge. He then betrayed the defenders of Darrowshire. That is an ill fate. If we can, we should try to change that fate, don't you think?
If we can. Enchant the Annals of Darrowshire. Let's find out the whole story. That's going to take some magic. There, it's done. The book's been enchanted. Let's empty out our bags real quick. And really, it's just sell that sword. Brother Carlin.
The Annals of Darrowshire, through my magic, has gained pages at its end, and now it extends its history beyond the battle. One of the extra passages tells of another Redpath, Carlin, who survived Joseph's betrayal.
We know Carlin.
Carlin's now in the Plaguelands to the east, at the Light's Hope Chapel. Take the book and
Cool.
speak with him.
Seems like there's more we can read. Let's get out of Ander Hall real quick, but... Oh. Okay, so we have another 5 pages. The Fate of Horgus the Ravager. Excuse me. Horgus the Ravager fell at the Battle of Darrowshire, but the evil within him was not fully spent. The victorious Scourge forces removed his skull from the battlefield of Darrowshire, carrying it with them to sow dread among the living they faced. Days later, the company of the Scourge who possessed the head were defeated by Silverhand paladins. Horgus's head was cast into Blackwood Lake. The fate of Marduk the Black. Marduk survived the Second War, causing great death and suffering with his foul, ruin-laden sword. Although Marduk still lives, his sword was lost in a battle near Corin's Crossing. A dwarf captain shattered the sword on his enchanted shield, forcing Marduk to flee the field and winning the day for the Alliance. Marduk's sword sank into the earth and corrupted it, eating a gorge into the land, known as the Infectus Scar. That's so sick. So some dwarf paladin had this sick shield, this enchanted shield, and it shattered his sword on it. That's so fucking cool, man. Classic fantasy. So cool. The fate of Davil Lightforge. Davil Lightforge died at the Battle of Darrowshire, but his bravery inspired the Alliance throughout the war. His book, his Paladin's Librum, was recovered by Scarlet Crusade troops. It now resides in the town hall of the Scarlet Crusade, controlled Hearthglen, often read by crusaders eager to draw from Davil's strength. I am very excited to start the Paladin on the Alliance side, man. Honestly, like, the lore and fantasy that is behind a Paladin, I'm so excited to get into that class fantasy and, like, roleplay that. I really am. It's so sick to me. The fate of Joseph Redpath. Joseph Redpath was killed during the Battle of Darrowshire. His spirit was corrupt and took new shape, and this creature spread great evil in Lordaeron. At Garon's Withering, east of Anderhall, the corrupt Redpath was finally defeated by Alliance forces. His shield still rests near the barn of the plagued farmstead, and Scourge minions are still drawn to the memory of his evil. Jesus. The fate of Carlin Redpath. Brother to Captain Joseph Redpath, Carlin fell during the Battle of Darrowshire, but although terribly wounded, he was not slain. Days after the battle, agents of the Argent Dawn found Carlin wandering weak from thirst and fever near Corin's Crossing. They tended to his wounds and brought him to Light's Hope Chapel. Grateful for their charity, Carlin joined the ranks of the Argent Dawn and now fights a battle of revenge against the Scourge for his brother, for his family. Damn. Yeah, I'm really, really excited to play a Paladin and, like, join the Silver Hand and fight back against the Scourge and be all about the light, and maybe even go see Hearthglen and read that book that they were talking about. Go into the Scarlet Crusade and learn some things. It would make sense canonically if, well, I guess the Scarlet Crusade is, they're fanatics, they're maniacal, they're like violent cultists, honestly. But still, all very, like, interesting things to learn about and experience and role play through the eyes of a Paladin and be a Paladin. So yeah, I'm super excited for a Paladin in the future. I think next, like we said, we're still going to do the Druid, of course, but I'm going to do, we just finished the Rogue. Take a little break after the Rogue. When we come back, we'll do the Druid. After the Druid, I think I switch back to the Horde and we do the Shaman. After the Shaman, I go back to the Alliance and we do the Paladin. And then after that, it kind of starts getting a little more boring, in my opinion, but they're all classes I haven't played, so we'll be doing, like, Warlock, Shadow Priest, I think it's Hunter then. I can't remember the order after the first four, but I have them in order on my account. When we log out, I'll take a peek, but Ava Rosa. Oh, it's a duo. And, oh, this is who it was.
Yes. Have a bad day.
Just say hey and wish them safe travels and stuff. Nice alliance. Can still see my solo self-found adventure buff. Love that shit. This shit is just aura to me. You get to see both my Soul of Iron and my Unbroken Self-Found Champion buff. Damn, that shit's... Oh shit, I didn't know it becomes a new buff. Unbroken Self-Found Champion. That's so cool. Never known defeat, unbroken self-found champion. That's cool. Alright, time to murder Hobo. Let's pop on some fresh poisons. The last probably 20 minutes of tonight, we're just going to be killing bats, worms, plague hounds. We need 20 runts, 5 regulars, and then 5 frenzied. I need a ton more bats, 20 more, and then I need probably, 30 or 40 worms in order to get all that meat. But, let's say I know there's a ton all around here, so time to just start hacking them down. The worms have maggot slime. No idea what that is, but any kind of debuff need to try and avoid. This zone is full of debuffs is what I'm realizing, and I'm not a fan. I should have done a slice and dice there, but that's okay. The fight's over anyways. Yeah, the more I read the lore about paladins, though, the more I'm like, I don't know. When so my history with paladins is interesting. My first class that I played on my own account. So my history with WoW was I started playing in vanilla when my cousin played, and I would watch. I'd go over to his house and I'd see him playing. And I'm like, what is this or whatever? And I had a family friend her boyfriend played when he was in the military, and he would come by sometimes and stay because she stayed with us, and then he'd stay with us, and he played. So I had an idea of what WoW was, but I'd be like, I'd kind of forgotten about it. And then when my cousin was playing, I was, what is this? And he told me what it is, and I had some history with MMOs, so I was like, oh, very cool. And I got to play a little on his account because I couldn't afford the $15 a month subscription. I was a young kid with no job, you know what I mean, no money. So I got to mess on his account for a little bit, and I made a human warlock, and I got that human warlock to like 32 or 33, somewhere in that range, purely just playing like for 30 to 45 minutes every now and then when I would go over to his house, or maybe a little longer. Like sometimes I'd stay the night and he'd let me play like an hour or two, and he would play like a different game on his Xbox on the couch or something like that. And Mithril. Anyways, that was my introduction to WoW, and then later, when I got my own computer and I was a little older and was able to afford the subscription, I made my own account, and at this point, WoW was in the Burning Crusade. So I got my own account finally during the Burning Crusade, but I started in vanilla, and I made a Blood Elf Paladin. I didn't really care about lore, I didn't care about class fantasy or anything like that. I just pretty boy elf, and Paladin seemed very OP, so I wanted to play the OP class, and I did. And it took me a while to get to max level, but I finally did. I had no idea what I was doing or how to play the game correctly back then, and I chose probably the worst thing to play, which was Protection Paladin, because I was like, oh, groups need tanks, I'll play the tank. That'll get me to a group easily. I didn't want to heal, so I was like, oh, I'll play the tank, right? And this is back when paladins would use like spell power to tank for like aggro and damage, which helped their aggro, and I just didn't understand it, man. I could not do it, and I was in the process of gearing my character up, and I was doing heroics, and I got invited into a Karazhan, and my character was not geared to tank a Karazhan, and they were on, I think it was like Nether Spite or Nether, what's his name? It's not going to show it in Classic, but the dragon where you have to like tank the beams, and some people have to like get in front of it and whatnot. anyways, they were on that boss and they summoned me in, and I had to join Ventrilo, and that's an old throwback sentence right there. But anyways, that's my history. So it's like my first like main character in WoW was a paladin. I played that character all the way into Wrath of the Crusade, or Wrath of the Crusade, Wrath of the Lich King. Sorry, Wrath of the Crusade, Burning Crusade. I played that character all the way through Burning Crusade into Wrath of the Lich King, and I played a Retribution Paladin in Wrath of the Lich King, and then eventually played Holy. I switched to Holy in ICC, but then I also wound up playing. I switched to a mage and a rogue at that point in my history, and that's when I started playing rogue finally, and I started kind of realizing, you know, if I was gonna have a character in a world like this, I'd be more of the rogue and not like the paladin guy, and that's kind of where I started gravitating towards rogues and that fantasy. But when I was younger, I had a history with paladins, and I've got a soft little spot for them, and I'm really excited to play a new one and now get into the fantasy of them, because back then I didn't understand that blood elves manipulate the light, right? They twist and bend the light to their will, so they're like dominant over the light, and it's, in a way, it's like kind of sick in a purist eyes. Humans are the purest when it comes to the light, quote unquote, right? For some reason, the light chose the humans, and the humans taught their teachings that the light had taught them to the dwarves. So the dwarves are kind of like a second-hand inhabitant of the light. So for me, it's always like, I feel very strange playing a dwarf. It doesn't feel like the strongest paladin. And the same goes for blood elves, where I'm just like, it's just, it doesn't fit the class fantasy the way that I like it. It'd be like if you were to play a oath-breaking paladin, which I do think is sick. Like if I played D&D, like there could be a cool. Well, I mean, I play D&D, but if I played a paladin in D&D, I could definitely make a cool oath-breaking character. But blood elf paladins don't really feel like they fit like that. They just feel against the grain, I guess. I don't know. It's weird. But for me, the one true paladin, if I had to play one now, it has to be a human. It has to be for me. All of these sick human paladins throughout WoW's lore that you learn about and come across and help in the journey. Tyrion alone, right? Tyrion Fordring. Yeah, can we talk about these damn debuffs, these curses, though, these diseases? The maggot slime is a 30-minute debuff, by the way. Disease. Melee attack power reduced by 50. 50. Larval acid. Sells for 40 silver. It's pretty nice. I got a little bit of worm meat there. Nice. No backspace though. The citrine, I'm just gonna sell it to a vendor, but it's 8 silver. This fur is 8 silver and some change. I'm just gonna keep the citrine. I guess I can get rid of the goo though. Get rid of the goo. It's a hell of a sentence. I'm fat fingering the hell out of my keys tonight. I mean, I guess I could be leveling up gun skill while I'm out here too. 10 more runs, 10 more bats, 11 more really, but got about 10 more minutes. 10, 10, 10. Kill 2, eat up, heal up, pull more, rinse and repeat. Gotta get more quail. We just go through that roasted quail so quickly, man. Seven more. Not gonna put a bleed on this guy because I'm probably gonna bandage on this pull, so just to keep my uptime fairly high here. That's a 5-point slice and dice. 30 seconds of slice and dice is so much. If I'm not killing a boss, when do I ever need that much uptime on slice and dice? Look at all that overkill. 20 seconds of overkill. What did he have? Sleek bat pelt. We'll take that over the Wicked Claw. I'm gonna try and finish at least the runts and the bats tonight. We're definitely not finishing that worm meat quest tonight. Mind the putrid bats. I hate that putrid bite that they have. 2 sword spec procs back to back. That feels good, bro. Didn't get to see what it was, but we'll go back. True silver. We'll mine it just in case it hits any kind of like rare materials. I guess we get rid of the 1 spider meat. And if I need to get rid of anything else, I'll get rid of the citrine probably. Aquamarine. That's worth it. It's a 4-piece of true silver. That's nice. It's 20 silver plus the aquamarine. Yeah, we have enough citrine that's just going to vendor. The aquamarine I'm actually keeping though. We only have 10 of these, so. What's our gem collection looking like now? 6, 3, 4, 6 malachite. I always say malachite, and everyone makes fun of me, and I've said that story before. But 6 malachite, 3 tiger's eye, 4 small lustrous pearls, 13 shadow gems, 6 moss agate, a full 20 stack of lesser moonstones, 19 jade, a full 20 stack of citrine, 10 aquamarine, 2 black pearls, 11 star rubies, 2 large opals, an essence of fire, and an essence of water. It's a pretty cool little collection of rare gems and materials that we've like mined up throughout the journey, and those have come in handy. There's been many things that we've needed to craft where it's like, oh, I'm gonna need 3 jade, and thankfully I've been saving them. I just go to the bank and pull them out, right? And it's like, oh, if I didn't save those gems, I'd be annoyed as hell, or it would be something that we'd have to farm out in the long term. But just saving all that stuff is just cool. Plus, it's just the fantasy of my professions in my class. It just works well for me in my mind. Of like, oh, I'm a miner, I'm an engineer. Of course, my character's like obsessed with these precious jewels, like a goblin. I'm just like, you know, I don't want to part with them. We need 8 more bats, and I only have about, you know, 5 more minutes tonight, so probably play for an hour and 15 tonight, I think. I'm gonna just try and finish off the bats for sure. Because these like bigger kill quests can take, you know, some time. These are pre-dungeon quests too. I think these quests lead me into Stratholme at some point. It's the paladin and the mage. What are they setting off fireworks for? Did she just level up? I think so. That's sweet. Set them off, guys. I think she just leveled up, and maybe that's like husband and wife, boyfriend and girlfriend. They're playing hardcore together, and every level they just like light off a bunch of fireworks. That's so sweet. Okay, 5 more bats, and here's a bunch of them. Gonna do something crazy here.
Health warning.
That fear kind of scared me, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh god, I'm not gonna be able to get my potion off. Okay, so remember that pulling multiple plague bats in the future. So I do have that fear, and it can get a little dicey. Used one of our excess major healing potions, but I had an odd one. 6 instead of 5, so I was like, you know what, let's just use one. 2 more bats. And they're right here. I'm not going to turn this quest in until we're finished with the other 2, the meat and the other plague hounds, so we'll probably just get ready to hearth and wrap it up after this one. It looks like it's going to be a solid hour. Maybe we'll try and get 5 more runs, and that way we play a little longer than an hour, since I said an hour and 15, but... Oh shit. Duskwing. I have a feeling we're going to be sent to hunt that thing at some point. Someone's going to ask me to, and I'm going to be like, nope. Sorry. You need to find a group of adventurers for that shit, bro. Me? I'm a sellsword. A lone wolf sellsword. I work alone, sir. All that group shit, you're gonna need to ask someone else. But if you need like your laundry done, or like you need me to collect some pumpkins from your farmstead, or like you need like a teenager assassinated, we're your guy.
Health warning.
Three more runs. That one right there will make it 2, and then we'll hearth out of here, and that one right there makes it 1. So if I can find one more runt around here. Oh, I think I saw one right there. Nice. I should have switched targets quite a while ago, but I got distracted by that gargoyle thinking he was coming over here. And my energy come back.
Health warning.
Alright, 20 runs. We're done with the bats. Let's go ahead and hearth, empty out our bags, put some stuff up in the bank, make some more bandages, and get ready to wrap this one up. Domus. Sell. Keep.
What is it?
Drop that off. Let's make some more bandages real quick. How many do we need? 6. We'll keep the other rune cloth. I need to pick up some more quail real quick. Poisons look alright for now. Flash powder, all that stuff looks alright for now. Bombs look okay for now. 38 with 10 sappers and a yeti is, you know, it's not a ton, but it's okay.
Rest your weary bones for a spell.
Norman, you don't have food?
Goodbye.
Who sells food around here, Norman? Since I don't really care about the Argent Dawn rep, I think I'm just going to take the commission off at this point.
And you are. Trust no one. I have exactly what you need.
It's probably the chef down here, huh? Nope. Raleigh doesn't even sell anything.
Dirge Quickcleave of Gadgetson is a master of the culinary.
I know about Dirge. Don't talk to me about Dirge. Look for, well, I guess, you know, it makes sense because no one needs to eat down here.
What is it?
There is like a mushroom vendor that roams around though, I've seen. But I mean, I guess it makes sense because, yeah, no one needs to eat. You have your death, you're undead. You have your cannibalize, but I need some food. Joanna Whitehill, what does she sell? Wait, you can just sell stuff there? Teresa. Gerard's Experiment. Let's smelt this stuff down real quick. We'll put it up in the bank, and then I'll jump in the coffin. So what is this? 5 powder, 2 powder here. Got a solid bit of thorium there. 16 bars.
I haven't got all day.
155 gold. We're almost past our mark of like 100 and I think we hit like 70 or 180 gold before we spent it all on training and fell all the way back down to 90 gold. $12, $24, well, it's really $25, $50 silver here. Make some powder. And I'm gonna go cook this meat real quick too. Zogos. I'll have to pick up more quail. Maybe there's someone in Light's Hope Chapel when we go that I can pick up some quail from tomorrow. But I don't think anyone in the Undercity sells quail. I know there's a mushroom vendor that roams around, I think, but... Okay, what do we need? Soothing spices, I need 9. That's our good food right there. And then we also need hot spices, 9. Oops. They have a fire for me right here. Let's cook 9 of these and then 9 of these bad boys. That puts us at 15 hot wolf ribs and 10 more of the tender hot wolf steak. Perfect. We're actually almost completely out of our superior health potions. Hey, 285 cooking. If I just catch some nightfin, I could get to max 286. Or sunscale. I don't know where these fish are, though. I know winter squid. I think it's in winter spring. 287 cooking. Let's go. 13 more points and we're maxed out on cooking. I think I'm going to take this out because I think at some point soon I'm going to take an attempt at Mizrael. Alright, all that looks good to me. Let's jump in a coffin. Gotta line it up just right. Right about here. Alright guys, we're gonna call this one here for now. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for hanging out. Peace and love, and God bless gamers.